It's always hard to talk about yourself like that, because where do you begin? I've spent most of my life in regional areas across New South Wales. After I left school, I studied earth science, became a teacher, and then went into the petroleum exploration business. But I wound up in the last 30 years running my own IT support business and teaching IT in TAFE and private colleges. And approximately about 16 years ago, my mother was diagnosed with dementia. And then approximately 10 years ago, I began the journey of getting diagnosed myself. The diagnosis came at for want of a better word, an opportune time, because I was planning to move into retirement at that point. My idea was to cut back on some of the work I was doing so that we could better do things that we wanted to, a bit of travel. And also I planned at that stage to begin work on building my model railway. And the amusing aspect is the day after I was diagnosed, construction began literally on the building that I've got the model railway in. And that actually took up a lot of my spare time, funny enough. One of the things I was given at that point of diagnosis was a list of the dementia nurses in the hospital system within the state. They basically said, nothing we can do, we'll put you on to someone who might be able to help, which turned out to be Alzheimer's Australia. I then got introduced to what was in those days a key worker in the area who couldn't offer much, but sort of kept me in contact with things that were occurring. And one of those things was the beginning of the Dementia Friendly Claimer project. When I went to the first preliminary meeting, as it were, I discovered 2 or 3 people there that I knew that had been diagnosed around the same time. And after being involved with that, life has never been busier. When I joined the Dementia Friendly Claimer project as one of the inaugural members, we had a lot of contact with the person who'd been organising the Dementia Friendly Communities program. I was invited to be involved in their advisory group. That led me to more involvement with the broader Dementia Australia. And it was also at the time that Dementia Australia became Dementia Australia rather than Alzheimer's and etc. I expressed interest in then being involved in their advisory group. As I knew people at that stage through the Dementia Friendly Communities program who were in the first iteration of that group, I was quite pleased to be elected to that group, and being able to see the evolutionary changes not just within the advisory committee but within the whole of Dementia Australia, and flowing on into public attitudes and awareness around dementia in general.